What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Social Media Mindset Podcast. And I have grabbed someone from the other side of the globe today. I got my man, Ben HAWKEY. You say it.
HAWKEY.
Yeah, however he says it. I need to talk like you. I feel like I would sell way more stuff if my voice sounded like yours.
But maybe vice versa if you're over in New Zealand.
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know. The American accents doesn't seem to rank very high up on the cool accent list, but New Zealand is like way up there.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not why we're here today. Guys, Here's what I'm pumped about. So Ben, I know you can't see us. If you could see us, Ben is like, we are like each other's doppelgangers on other sides of the world. So Ben is the CEO of a company called Real Growth. The website is realgrowth.io. And bro, we do a lot of the same stuff on the other sides of the world from one another. So I'm so excited. Give us just quick, and people just want to hear you talk. So give us a quick rundown of like who you are, what Real Growth is, and then we're going to jump in. Let me tease this. Guys, this whole episode is going to be about helping realtors get more listings. So I don't know if you want listings. I don't know if that matters to you and your business. But that's what we're going to be talking about today. So Ben, who are you, bro? And what's Real Growth all about?
Well, first of all, thanks, Carl. Thanks for letting me jump on the show. Usually I'm the one doing the interviewing. So it's very interesting to be on the other end.
So glad you're here, man.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm based over in New Zealand, had experience in sales for the last 10 years, working in crazy countries like the Middle East and
wow.
Dubai and Saudi Arabia and things like that, selling a lot of New Zealand products, and came back to New Zealand and got into that sales consulting side of things. But I think like many of your listeners, everyone wants to kind of go out and go out on their own and build a business and grow their own empire, if you like. And so back in 2019, I set up a company called Real Growth, and we partner at Real Growth with real estate agents across New Zealand and Australia. And basically we become like their marketing virtual assistant, if you like.
Okay.
We save them time, save them money. We create their content and then turn that content into engaging content for social media, run those as ads, and also run lead gen style ads as well. So we can help build their database.
I love it.
So not only build their brand, but build their database.
It's huge. It's huge. Talk about, like, before we jump into the practicality and the literal tips and tricks that you want to talk about, let's get an overview first of like, where do you watch realtors struggle with social media?
I'm glad you asked this. I'd love to be brutally honest with all the listeners out there, and I don't want to offend anyone, but
you don't even live in our country, so they can't hurt you, so you're safe.
True. Well, one of the things that I see a lot, and I'm sure you see it as well, Kyle, is ads on social media that basically say, if you're looking to sell, give me a call.
Yeah.
Like a billboard, or for example, sell with us and go on to win a trip to Queenstown, which is a city in New Zealand.
Yeah.
You're basically like incentivizing them to list with you, but basically it's begging for listings. It's desperate. It's what I call like asking someone to marry you before you even meet them, right? It's just too early, too soon. Yeah. And I don't know whether in America you have a TV show like this, but we have a TV show in New Zealand and Australia called Married at First Sight.
Yeah, we've got that.
Yeah. So basically, I when I talk to agents, I say, don't use the married at first sight strategy. It doesn't work. I know agents want immediate, listings, but that's just not how things work, right? It's all about building that trust and relationship over time, because no one's going to sell with someone if they just see a random ad saying, hey, if you're looking to sell, give me a call. So that's a massive mistake I see agents make, is they're just using that married at first sight strategy.
Man, I love that. So let's kind of peel back the layers of this onion. So we say, and I 100% agree with you, right? Do not do it that way. How do we then kind of help them do it the right way? What does that look like?
The way I work with our clients is, if you guys can imagine like a kind of a funnel, an upside down cone. And we split it up into, say, 3 parts. We split it up into engage at the top, connect, and underneath that, convert, right? Engage, connect, convert, right? That's a marketing framework we use, and I think it can apply for any business as well as agent. And so engage is all about building that presence, building that trust, building that credibility in the local market, adding value without asking for anything in return, right? Just engaging with the local market. Then basically you're building what we call like a virtual database, like your remarketing audience.
Yeah.
On social media, your warm audience. So we call this our virtual database. And then what we do then, once we have this virtual database, we run more direct response ads, retargeting those people who already are aware of who this agent is. So they already are familiar with them.
So at the engaged level, give us an example of like a specific piece of content that would be strictly for engagement.
Cool. I know your listeners here, you speak all the time about, 5 pillars of content, 6 pillars of content. So maybe we don't dive too deep into that, but because I've heard it over and over again, but some of the key types of content that we recommend for our agents is knowledge focused content. So educating the market, demonstrating your expertise. So that could be through question and answer style videos. So what I mean by that is maybe you want to use Quora, or there's, I think, answerthepublic.com is another website, and you can look at what are the most commonly asked questions from sellers, what are the most commonly asked questions from buyers, right? Say you find 25 questions from buyers, 25 questions from sellers, and then you answer those questions on camera. So that would be one, Q&A videos. And I'd love to break this down for you.
Heck yeah, bro. Break it down.
Okay, let's look at a hack on doing this, because we both know, Kyle, that no one likes recording video, and no one likes to stare into a camera lens and just and wing it, because that takes hours and hours of restart, play it again, and agents, it just takes too much time. So my hack for everyone listening is to jump on a call with another real estate agent or a friend or family member and get them to ask you those commonly asked questions that you've researched, right? You will then answer them on camera as if you're speaking to a client.
Love that.
Then so that whole Zoom call is going to be recorded, and then you're going to rewatch that Zoom call, and you're going to timestamp all the segments of each of the questions. So all of a sudden you've had a conversation for 1 hour with your colleague, and you've spoken about, say, 25 commonly asked questions from sellers, and now you can turn that into 25 different micro videos.
I love it.
That's a super smart way for agents out there to create lots of content quickly, because agents don't have time. Well, they don't make time. Let's just say that they don't make time to do it.
Well, and I love that, because when you can get somebody that you already know to be that question asker, you've instantly removed a lot of the discomfort, and you've made it feel like you're helping them trick their brain into thinking this is just a conversation, and you can kind of begin to see through the camera to the other person. So that's brilliant, man. I love that. So all 25 of those that you would help them come up with, that all serves inside of the engagement piece.
Yes. Now there's some other really simple pieces of content you can create as well in the engagement. So it's really important, especially if you're a new agent and you're not well known. Perhaps you want to build some credibility and trust, and an easy way of doing that is aligning yourself with other experts in the industry. So you might want to line up an interview via Zoom, same thing again, with an established, trusted mortgage broker. He's been in the industry for 20, 30 years. and you do the same thing. Maybe you contact them in advance and ask them, what are the 10 most commonly asked questions that you get from homeowners and sellers? You write them down, you jump on the Zoom call, and you have a conversation with this expert mortgage broker and ask them those questions. Same thing, cut that up into little videos, and there's 10 micro videos in half an hour of your time, right?
And you could do that with anybody that's an expert inside of real estate.
Interior designers, building, lawyers, accountants. So let's just say the challenge for your listeners is find 10 people in the real estate, related services, and have 10 questions to ask 10 experts, and that's 100 pieces of content,
dude.
Right? Let's do the other challenges. Let's do 25 home buyer questions, 25 home seller questions. So that total 150 knowledge-based content.
Wow.
Now let's break it down even more. Let's talk about, what does that look like? Let's go, say we posted this on 3 different platforms: Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, right? And let's just say you got 1,000 views per video, right? If you add that up, 150 videos, across 3 platforms, that's 450 different posts.
Right.
450 posts times 1,000 views per video. That's 450,000 video views. You could call it points of contact. 450,000 points of contact.
Right.
Like, could you drop I think we talked about, Kyle, like, imagine dropping 450,000 flyers. How much would that cost to drop 450,000 flyers?
Oh gosh. I mean, it would be crazy. And I was even doing the math, like, even if you only got 100 views per video, that's 45,000 views.
Yeah.
So if you want to sell 30 houses, you don't think you can sell 30 houses inside of 45,000 views? It's crazy. That's awesome, bro.
Great way of building a presence at a really affordable price. Like, my recommendation for our clients would be to put some paid advertising behind that to reach those local homeowners. You probably don't want to rely on organic reach only.
Right.
But you put, say, $10 or $20 behind each video, that's going to amplify that reach to the next level, right?
Yeah, man. So we could stop this episode right now, and guys, we've already given you 450 videos that can go out across, all the platforms when you add them all up. But we're not going to stop here, Ben, because that's just the engagement piece. That's the first third of your strategy. So we're doing these short videos, creating value, establishing ourselves as the expert, engaging, and then we're moving into connect.
Yeah.
So explain to us, what does the content shift into when we're looking now at connecting deeper, because we've already established people from the engagement place?
Connect is a fancy, simple term for lead generation, right? For the listeners out there, right? So this is where agents also make a mistake. If you're wanting to create an ad, let's say ad now, that where you want to collect their contact details so you can connect with them, right? Name, number, email, maybe address. You need to provide something of value in exchange for those contact details.
Okay.
Right? Call it an irresistible offer, something that has high perceived value, but at low risk to that person, right?
Okay.
And what I mean by low risk is, it comes at very little effort or time-wise or money-wise. So a not so irresistible offer that I would recommend not doing, but agents do it a lot, is the free market appraisal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
The free market appraisal marketed is when someone comes into their home and you show them around and they give you an appraisal on the home. Now, okay, it's of high value, hugely high value, because you're getting a really, really accurate indication on the value of your home. But it still has a high perceived risk, because, you know, a stranger who they might not know is coming through the house, going through all the bedrooms, kids' bedrooms. You know, they don't know this person. They're going to go, I'm going to get a sales pitch at the end of this on why it's a good time to sell. I'm not ready to be comfortable enough to have someone come into my house who I don't know. So although it's high value, it's high risk. And so in my opinion, that is not an irresistible offer. It's an offer, but it's not irresistible.
Sure.
So what you want to be doing is using something that is of lower risk and of still value. So for example, you might want to do a digital property report, right? So they can get an estimate. You guys have Zillow and things like that, but you can do digital ones as well. Okay, we all agree that it's not that accurate, but it could be a great way of making contact, providing with that details, and then following up over the call, which I'll talk about in the next phase, which is the follow-up phase.
Okay.
Might be a home buyer's guide, a home seller's guide, equity position report, where it gives people an indication on equity they might have in their property. There's so many different, like, irresistible offers, if you like, that you can, you know, market and advertise online. But the key to success here is targeting those ads to people who have already engaged with previous content of yours.
Right.
So they're already familiar with you. They've already seen you 15 times adding value. So when they do see an ad from you saying, hey, home buyer's guide, 5 steps to they're far more likely and far more comfortable to reach out to you, because there's that element of trust there already. And in a market where every single agent is running some type of lead generation style ad, homeowners have seen it 101 times. Why would they click on yours? They need to know who you are, and there needs to be a point of difference there. So that's why it's so important to retarget the people who already are familiar with you.
I love it. And now, can you, in this stage, do you guys ever, because like a home seller guide, for the sake of staying listing focused, a home selling guide could be huge, right? Like that could have a ton of content in it. So could we break that down even further and say, are you considering selling your house? Here's 5 ways to increase the curb appeal of the outside of your home. Like, can we break it that small?
Yeah, 100%. It needs to be super specific, 100%.
Okay.
It doesn't need to be a 50-page report, right?
Sure.
Some people just want a 2-page checklist on preparing your house for sale. It's you don't need to put a massive PDF ebook together. You know what I mean? A simple checklist is enough.
Okay.
And it's definitely how you word your ad as well, right? You don't want to be, it can't come across as you are searching for the listing, and people know that if they put in their details, you're going to give them a call. Like, you need to word it in a way where they know they're getting value from it. And if you said, if you're thinking about selling, download this checklist, all of a sudden you're probably going to get high qualified leads, because you're saying if you're thinking of selling. Fair call there, Kyle, for sure. But if you wanted to maybe create a wider database of people who are just homeowners, maybe you want to remove terms like if you're thinking of selling, maybe, you know what I mean? Keep it a bit broader.
Yeah. And so then if you're removing thinking about selling and being a little bit broader, what does that language sound like?
Oh, you put me on the spot here.
I know. That's that's how we roll.
I'm gonna have to think of some of the recent ads that we even if it's just, you might just say, if selling's been on your mind, or something like that. You know what I mean? Not
sure. Yeah.
Even if it's a slight tweak of the words.
Yeah.
Little things like that, right? Just a few words tweak, just people perceive it slightly differently.
Well, and I really like, I personally love humor, so I would probably even take an approach that would be something like, come on, you're wondering, like,
Yeah.
you're thinking about it. Let's just talk about the elephant in the room, right? You might want to sell your house, and just play to the playfulness of it, right? Because again, they've already seen me, so they're already getting to know my personality. If I have a sense of humor, my sense of humor, whatever it is. So I think like that ad can fall super flat if it doesn't also play in to the character you've allowed them to get to know up to this point, right?
Yeah. 100%. No, I love that. You got to be different.
Yeah, you have to be 100%. So we're engaging, then we're connecting. And so again, because who knows what the listener's doing right now? They're in their car. They've got crying babies in the background. Like they're probably not sitting down with a spiral notepad, like writing down every word we're saying. So we're engaging, hundreds of videos, right? Very simple, short form content. Then we're connecting, guys. And in this connection phase, we're getting something from them, an email address, right? We're getting something in order to give them the guide of whatever it is that we're asking for. So then it's the convert stage.
Yes.
And so Ben, talk us through, like what does that look like?
This is the most important phase. And if you do not approach this phase correctly, everything else has been a waste of time.
Okay.
And this is where a lot of agents make mistakes. So first of all, where some agents make mistakes is they deliver the report and they hope that the homeowner will get back to them via email. Majority of people probably don't even see the email themselves, right? They've requested it at 3 a.m. in the morning when they've been lying in bed, and by the time they wake up, they forgot they even requested a checklist on selling their home, right?
Right.
So the key is in a phone call follow-up.
Okay.
Right. You've got to jump on the phone as soon as possible and just say something along the lines of, hey, you see, you've clicked on the ad, you fill out the details for, the checklist on how to sell your home. What motivated you to download that? And a really open-ended question, just to get a gauge on where they're sitting. So questions like, what motivated you to download the guide usually opens up a conversation.
So Ben, let's go backwards a sec, because you said, and I know what you mean by this, but the listener, I don't think fully understands the speed at which you say this. You said, call them as soon as possible. So is that, they asked me for the guide yesterday, and so I'll follow up, Thursday. I want to give them some time to, like, are we talking days after they request this download, minutes after they request this download? Because I don't think the average listener understands, like, the longer you go without reaching out to an online lead, the less likelihood you have of actually converting them at all. So, like, in an ideal world, how fast is that turn time?
Ideal world, minutes, but realistically, let's say within the day, I don't know, like realistically, agents are busy,
Sure.
Right? Obviously, like you said, the faster the better. If you can respond in an hour when it's top of mind, perfect. Within minutes, even better. But within a day, realistically, for agents who are busy, that's my recommendation, is to set a realistic expectation, is to get back within 24 hours.
So, okay. But then what if I'm the agent that's like, Ben, I don't know. I don't like calling people. So, like, I just send text messages.
Well, you just say, do you want to grow your business, Kyle, or do you not want to grow your business? Because reality is you've got to call people. Fact.
So you're staying tight to, it's got to be the phone call first.
I'm staying strong on that. There's a couple of agents out there who are absolutely, selling, 500 houses a year, right? They can afford in some ways to put that lead in their database. And we can talk about nurturing in the next phase, but nurture that lead on an ongoing, consistent basis. And they can afford to do that, but at the end of the day, I still think they're missing out on listing opportunities.
Sure.
So you got to call. You got to call. And what's the harm in calling? They've reached out to you.
No, 100%.
Right?
I'm just trying to, my goal is to play devil's advocate because I know, like you and I know realtors, right? So I want to say the things that I hear them say to me all the time, which is, I don't know. I don't want to use the phone. I just want to text people. Do you recommend, like, I suck at ads. Like, you're so good at stuff that I'm not good at. And so I'm the relationship guy. So I will encourage people to, like, go try to find out something about these people before you just reach out, like, go to their page and, can you see a dog? Can you see that they were just on vacation? Can you see that, like, their kids and your kids are the same age? Do you guys coach to that? Or is it just, man, just pick up the phone, create the dialogue and just kind of see where it goes from there?
That's not our specialty in the sales side of things. We're more in the engage and connect phase, the lead gen phase.
Okay.
But the initial sales kind of follow up is not really something that I have huge amounts of knowledge where I could just share with you. But I just know from the top agents that we work with, the ones who are the ones who convert those leads into listings are the ones that follow up on the phone, and they're very good at asking open-ended questions to just start a conversation, because they're not trying to get the listing on the phone call. They're just trying to understand the situation.
Of course.
And because, like, questions lead to conversations, obviously, and conversations leads to relationships. Relationships leads to opportunities, and opportunities can lead to listings.
Absolutely.
Right?
So
take that process.
I love it. Talk about, we call same day, they don't answer. Are we calling the next day? Are we, like, walk us through kind of like points of contact 2, 3, 4, if, like, they don't answer the first couple times.
Right, this is an interesting one, because I was talking to and someone else in the US who specializes in this, and I've never heard of it before, but they call it the double dial. Now they basically call back immediately, but I had no experience in this. I wouldn't even feel comfortable doing that, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it, right?
I know agents that do it. Yeah.
And it works, right? Some people say do a triple dial. Like, man, I don't want to be giving advice on this side of things because I don't have enough experience there to know what is the ideal situation. But definitely don't leave a message on the first phone call.
Don't leave a message.
Don't leave a message. Call them again. Think about it. They might be at work. So if you called them in the afternoon, they didn't pick up, next day, maybe call them in the morning.
Sure.
If they don't pick up, call them at lunchtime the day after, right? Okay. And then maybe you want to send them a text, not a message. And it might be generic, like, hey, is this Kyle? Like, just wanted to follow up from, the digital report that you downloaded.
Yeah.
And not spend don't write too much on the text message. But basically, Kyle, that's as far as my really detailed expert knowledge goes on that. But definitely I wouldn't start leaving messages too soon.
So you know what I love to do?
What's that?
And I'm the weird video guy, right? So I send just about every lead that I get, I send them a video.
Nice.
Of just like, and not a pre-done video, right? Because that's a huge turnoff. But wherever I am, if I'm in my car, I'm in my car. If I'm on a walk, I'm on a walk, and I will be sweaty, and I'll use that. Hey, I'm on a walk, but I saw you were interested in content compounding, and so I didn't want to waste time. I wanted to reach out. And dude, it's amazing the level of response you get because now I don't just look like some dude with a headset on that's just dialing numbers.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a real human.
You're a real human. Yeah.
You know, I could be at a football game, or for your listeners that might hear this, right? Like a rugby match. And I'll record a video right there, and it might be loud and they might not even be able to hear me very good. But the whole point of it is I want to go from a complete stranger to like, boom, I've humanized myself.
Love it.
And I don't even know if that's the right strategy, but I like it.
Of course it's a great strategy. We used to do that when we used to use, before we used Facebook ad forms to collect details, we used to use like Facebook Messenger forms.
Yeah.
So it was like an automated message. So, you know, hey, please enter your address, please enter your phone number, It was just all automated. But because the agent could connect via Messenger, you could then send them a video follow-up because you'd already connected on Messenger.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was the advantage of using Facebook Messenger lead ads.
Dude, I love it.
We moved away from that because there were just challenges around this, but
sure,
that we are definitely on the same page that we did use that in the past when we were able to connect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
I think there's no right and wrong way, right? You talk to lots of different people, and
there probably are lots of wrong ways, and I'm probably good at a lot of them. What I truly think though is the wrongest thing to do is to just truly let too much time lapse between when they came in and when you choose to reach out. Right? That is what most realtors are the worst at, is they get busy. And, you know, they got 3 leads yesterday, but they don't talk to them for 36 hours. And those people literally do not remember at all that they requested anything. So now you just come off as a spammer.
Yeah. The longer you leave it, can you imagine following up with someone you hadn't, who a lead 1 week ago, how much more awkward that is? Because still then, like, I'm calling them and they know they're expecting, you know, a bit of a sales pitch. But if you're calling up straight away, it's like you're just like, it's a courtesy call, you know, like just something to be helpful, right? It's just like, hey, just want to see, you know, what you know, what inspired you to download the guide. But the longer you leave it, the more you're like, oh, what's this call about, you know?
Right.
So, and that probably kind of comes into as well to the nurture phase. Like,
let's talk about that.
So the next phase after connect is convert, right? And when we talk about convert, we're talking about taking someone in your database from, say, a lead through to the listing process. And this could take years, could take weeks, right? Depends, right? So my suggestion, our real growth suggestion, is obviously follow up straight away on the call. They also then need to be in an email sequence right from the start, right? So they need to, you know, the product, the guide is delivered, for example, and then they're on, say, a 5 email welcome series, you know, just letting you know
at
who
Real
you
Growth.
are. Sorry,
are you guys writing those, like, that email sequence for them?
We give them templates, and they can
kind of make it their own.
Make it their own.
Okay. Now, are you re-leveraging video content inside of those emails as well?
Yeah. We want to show our best content to those people. We want to build that credibility, because not everyone who is connected with you through your lead ad has seen every single one of your 150 videos. Right. So it's unlikely that they've probably seen that, but you might have a really great pillar piece of content, and it might be 5 minutes long, and you talk through the 6 steps to, you know, preparing your home for sale. And that might be your 3rd email that you send out. That email might be on your website, or maybe just hosted on YouTube.
Sure.
And you just send people from the link to there. And the whole intention is just to build that trust, but just add value. That's the whole point.
So as you're adding value through that email sequence, are you, like, is there a call to action in each one of those emails?
No.
Or
yeah.
or how, like, or is every other one have a call to action? You know, how does that work?
Yeah, the first few aren't any.
Okay, so you're just continuing to, so you're kind of going back up to the engage piece to just create that value through another method.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But you might say at the bottom, PS, because a lot of people scroll straight to the bottom and look at the bottom. So you might say, PS, for more videos on X, Y, and Z, follow us on Instagram.
Okay.
And have it like a hyperlink, right? There's your call to action, if you like.
Yeah, so a super soft
call to action. And potentially some agents might want to put in their signature at the very, very bottom, you know, book now for it.
Sure.
Appraisal. You could do that, but definitely don't keep pushing that over and over again. Yeah.
Man, I love that sequence. You know, what's interesting about marketing is like it, and I hate to say this because you and I are both in marketing. It's not rocket science. It really is the one that adds the most value, the most consistently, is typically who wins. Right?
Yeah.
Like that, like that's it. Whether it's the paid ad side, whether it's the organic side, you know, like I've never ran an ad in my whole life for my personal brand ever. It's 100% organic, and it works. Could ads also work? 100% they could. And so it's really just a matter of like, do something instead of just think about, well, man, I should probably do something. Instead of thinking about it, take action and do something about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And don't be discouraged if you only get 50 views.
Dude, come on. Man, did we talk about this on your podcast? Like somebody said
about consistency.
Well, I know we talked about that, but I can't remember. I saw a TikTok a few weeks back where, you know, where somebody was like, man, we love to crap on 50 views on a video, but we'd love to be in a room with 50 people in it. Why all of a sudden, because it's social media, do we quantify that different?
Yeah. And
it's really mind blowing to think about. You know, we don't need as many people as we think we do to accomplish what we want to accomplish. And so it really does, man, we got to protect our mindset. And because that, gosh, man, discouragement sets in so fast and we're screwed as soon as that happens. And so, Ben, as we wrap this up, man, I've loved this. I've loved this episode. Just listening to you talk it just brings joy to my life. So if we can just talk more, that would just make my life better. As a video guy, right? You and I both have companies where we help people through the power of video. Where do you feel like realtors have the most bang for their buck right now for where they should be putting video? Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok. You know, what's your thoughts about that?
Or from an organic reach side of things,
well, let's say both. Let's say from the ad side and also from the organic side, if maybe they're different answers.
Well, definitely from an organic side, we're getting huge amounts of organic reach to people who do not follow us through Instagram Reels. I know you get the same through TikTok. However, I want to say something on this. Okay, you might get 5,000 views on Instagram Reels and 4,050 are from India, 30 are from the Philippines, and 20 are from, you know, in your neighborhood. So just be careful that, you know, the number of views doesn't mean, you know, okay, you're getting lots of views, but just be, be mindful that they might not all be coming from your local area.
100%.
But so yeah, for organic reach, Instagram Reels. I don't know too much about TikTok. I know you do, Carl, but all I know is that also great reach on TikTok at the moment. From a paid ads point of view, I think Facebook and Instagram are great. Obviously Facebook and Instagram, you know, Facebook owns Instagram. I love running boosted or running our value added content as ads as well. And the Facebook ads platform is, super easy to use, you can be super targeted with it. So from a paid ad point of view, I like using Facebook.
So let me ask you a couple of follow-up questions, and then we're gonna wrap this thing up, man. When you're running ads for the engagement piece, right? So there's no call to actions. You're not trying to sell stuff. You're trying to create value. What is like what's the minimum ad spend that needs to exist to where, like, if somebody's like, hey, I want to do this for like $50 a month, and you're like, oh, that, is there a minimum where you guys feel like below this, you're really just wasting money? It really needs to be at least $10 a day or whatever. Is there a number for that?
I don't think there's a number. It just depends on, where you're at, your budget. I think just starting is good. I think you want to be putting at least, $50 a week in,
Okay,
to run your best performing video posts as ads.
yeah,
And just make sure that you are targeting the right people, because if you're just running it as a boosted post out to an audience of people who maybe follow you, maybe 90% of the people who follow you might not be in your local market. So
sure,
to get the best bang for your buck, if you're only going to spend $50 on ads per week, that's fine, but make sure you're super targeted. And that's a great thing about Facebook, because you can target by specific area,
right,
and within specific age ranges. And and Facebook's pretty good after a while at learning who are your ideal.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you just consistently do that and consistently target that 20,000 people or 10,000 people on an ongoing, consistent basis, you're just going to become more and more familiar to them. So you don't need to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars. That's my opinion. Like, we don't have unlimited money. So
it goes back to just start, right? Just start. So, man, I want to ask one final question. And I think this is going to become a common thread on my podcast, but you're going to be the first one to get it. So if it sucks, then I apologize that, you got to be the guinea pig. So I want to know, you're an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. The listeners to your podcast and my podcast are also entrepreneurs. And so who is the person that either you like watch or listen to the most, or the author that you enjoy reading the most, that just maybe they keep you inspired, that they're always educating you on something you didn't know before? Like, is there one person that kind of stands out as like, man, I love their stuff?
From a person I follow on social media point of view, I just love looking at Gary Vaynerchuk's content.
Yeah.
It's just so different. He mixes it up. It's not just standard templates like you see. Maybe a lot of businesses, they want to have it perfect template. I love Gary's creativity. He's always trying new things. It's and he always shares so much value. So I really do enjoy following Gary on Instagram.
He's a good one.
Yeah, I think he's a great one for some inspiration in terms of content ideas. I also think it's probably someone to look at and go, maybe I don't always have to have perfect videos, right? Like, maybe I don't need to have this perfectly branded real estate logo videos, because you can see the amount of views and engagement he gets, and his videos are sometimes just selfie, the lighting's crap and the audio's crap, and he's it's massive engagement. It's social, right? It's not a TV ad. So anyway, I go off track a little bit, but Gary's
bro, I love that.
Gary's a great person I like to follow. From a book point of view, I've got it in front of me actually.
Yeah, give it to us.
And it's not so much to do with video, but have you read this? It's called Getting Everything You Can Out of All You've Got.
No, I haven't. Is that Jay Abraham?
Jay Abraham. And it talks about,
dude, you've torn that book up.
I've put in lots of notes and things like that in there.
I'm gonna have to go get that one. So give us a nugget from it. What's your biggest takeaway from that book?
the importance of nurturing your database.
Yeah.
Through email, text, phone. Also, the importance of not being scared and asking for referrals if you do it the right way.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah. Referrals. He talks about the ability to ask for referrals, when to ask for them, how to ask for them. So all those things are really is gold.
And dude, it's so huge. Like I don't have a huge database, like an email database. I have about 1,000 email database because I just don't push it a lot. I never send emails ever. And that's 1,000 people that have said, please, Kyle, I want your email. And I don't send them anything. And it's such a huge opportunity that I'm squandering personally. That's huge.
You can send them a link to your podcast every month.
Yeah, you would think, Ben, that I would be capable of that. But no, I just choose to suck at it. So I'm writing an email tonight.
Yeah.
This is going to go out to the database.
Share this email. Share this podcast.
100%, man. Dude, thank you for coming on from the other side of the world. And man, I'm excited to know you. I'm excited to start calling you a friend as we get to connect more and more. And man, I just wish all the success in the world to Real Growth. And for people that want to follow you, man, where do they find you at?
Realgrowth.io or at realgrowth.io for Instagram. I think that's the best place to connect. Instagram is great. I love it.
And what about you? You don't want them to connect with you?
They can
just Real Growth?
I actually have just created, Kyle, my own professional but business style Instagram because I didn't feel comfortable sharing every details of my personal life.
Sure.
in my existing Instagram. So I wanted to create one of myself and build my personal brand. So there's Ben HAWKEY, HAWKEY _marketing.
Yes.
This is my opportunity to get some followers. So
come on,
we'll soon see.
I'm gonna get you at least three, three followers.
At least three. Well, yourself would be one.
Oh, you'll get that tonight. That's happening tonight, bro. This has been awesome, man. I appreciate you so much.
No, thank you. Oh, it's been awesome. The first podcast, Kyle. First podcast ever. So it's cool. It's awesome.
Come on, guys. Thank you for listening. We will be back real soon with another cool person. Probably doesn't sound as cool as Ben, but they're going to have a cool story. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.